Welcome to today, and may the 4th be with you. And so since today is May 4th and everybody around the world are celebrating Star Wars Day, I thought we could look back to the study of force. Our very first concept was the idea of inertia, that an object set in motion will stay in motion and an object at rest will stay at rest unless an unbalanced force is acted upon it. Today's concept number 10, is related to that. It's looking at Newton's second law. And so Newton's second law is actually a formula for calculating force. Force equals the mass of an object multiplied by the acceleration that object takes when it moves. So for example, if a baseball is 0.145 kilograms, which it is, and it moves at a distance or speed of say 50 miles per hour, we can use those two numbers to calculate the amount of force it took to move the baseball that quickly. Right here I have my dog Sammy. Come here. Oh. And so I have her in the video because she could be used as part of today's experiment if you wanted to. Not my dog, but if you have your own pet, or you could use a baseball, you could use it, any sort of object really. What I'm going to ask you to do for your lab is to create your own experiment where you calculate force. In order to do that, you're going to need some tools. So for example, you're going to need some way to find out the object's mass. Now, if you don't have a scale, you can estimate it. So for example, I know how much I weigh, and so I could use myself as the object, and I can calculate based off of my own mass. Or for example, like I said, a baseball, I knew that because I looked it up on the internet this morning. I said, what is the mass of a baseball? And it turns out that it's 0.145 kilograms. Okay, so that's number one. You're going to need to know the mass. And again, you can estimate if you don't know, and there are more instructions in the written part, so make sure you read those. You're going to need to know the acceleration. Now, the acceleration of an object is the final position minus the initial position, but that's kind of complicated. So for today, let's just use the speed, and speed is easy to calculate. Speed, she tears up everything. Speed is the distance something travels divided by the time it took it to travel. For example, if I travel 50 miles in 1 hour, my speed is 50 miles per hour. If I throw an object and it travels 20 feet and I timed that travel and it took 2 seconds, then I do 20 feet divided by 2 seconds to find out that the speed was 10 feet per second. And so as long as I can calculate the speed, I can get, or distance and time, then I can get the speed. In the write-up, in the directions below, I've put a link to a way you can cheat for this assignment. There's an online force calculator. And so whatever experiment you design, you don't have to mess with all the math yourself. It can get complicated, especially for those that are first seeing this concept. And so all you have to do is you have to put in the mass, and it allows you to put it in kilograms, it allows you to put it in grams, it allows you to put it in pounds, whatever you can measure or estimate it, as well as the speed or acceleration. And again, you can do that in feet per second, miles per hour. It allows all those things. And then it's going to tell you the force, which will be in a unit of measure called newtons, capital N. Why? Because of Sir Isaac Newton. So I look forward to seeing your work. Create something awesome. It could be something simple, but still do an awesome job with it. I still encourage you to do a video if you can. I come out here and I don't script these. I just make, I mean, you could probably tell. There's noise everywhere. But get out and do a video if you can. If you can't, you can do it just a simple Google Doc where you're explaining what you did and whatnot. The reading is a little bit longer, as well as there's a reading response, which is one of those drag and drops. And then with the experiment, this is kind of a bigger assignment. So the next concept, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, a little easier to do, so that between the two concepts, you can still get it all done within the 5 days. Before I let you go, this is what I've been working on. This is my strawberry patch. And then we've built, planted a bunch of vegetables there. My goal is to take this entire backyard and convert it into beds like these. This is about 1.5 feet off the ground, and there's these paths. Anyways, that's a little bit from me. I look forward to seeing your work.